Welcome to Allie's Attic, where you never know what kind of surprise you'll find in my attic. I'm your host, Allie, and today my surprise is a Canadian singer, songwriter, pianist, actress. My goodness, she has her own show on TV, and she's also an executive producer. And I'm going to let you tell all about that, Arlene. So, everybody, welcome Arlene Paculan.
Thank you, Allie, so much for having me on your show.
I'm so glad you came on. We had a little bit of
This is
technical
really
difficulties.
cool.
Yeah. So basically, you're in Toronto,
Mississauga.
Mississauga, and were you born and raised there, or?
Yes.
Awesome. I love having Canadian artists on. You have no idea. Just because I'm Canadian and I love promoting them. So basically, tell us all about you and your journey and how you've gotten to where you are right now.
Sure. I won't take too much of your time, but I started playing piano when I was really young, and then I also took singing lessons in my early teens, and then actually started to write music because I was obsessed, and still am a little bit, with Rain Maida from Our Lady Peace and Alanis Morissette, and also other Canadian greats like Chantal Kaviazuk, and McLaughlin, Holly McNarland, and Finger Levin and Moist. I grew up listening to a lot of alternative rock, and it inspired me to write when I was in high school, and I was just writing, whatever, I found the different patterns that I saw with the favorite writers, and I tried to use that as a guide of, how can I express this feeling, or how can I express this experience. And then, so I wrote, shared some songs. Then I went back to singing lessons, and I fell in love with musical theater. And I thought, you know what, I'm not going to go to university and get a degree or anything. I want to do theater. So I attended a really amazing school in Toronto called Randolph Academy, where it was 2 years of hard work and condensed. It was a 3-year program condensed in 2, and I met so many amazing talents, worked with so many incredible teachers and people in the profession, and I was lucky to have done some musicals and plays. I got to play Rizzo in Greece and Juliet and Romeo and Juliet and a whole bunch of other roles, which is really cool. And then 2008, a big change happened. My Nana passed away, and that moment, because my Nana and I were super close, and at that moment I didn't know what to do. She died in the house I grew up in.
Oh my goodness!
Because that's instead of keeping her in the hospital. But the thing was, it was I was with her a lot. At that point, I was living the quote unquote retired life because I was finished school and looking for acting work, and then so I would spend a lot of time with my Nana. And then I went to go teach. Another thing I do is I figure skate. So
oh my goodness!
I was teaching skating, and I found out that she had passed when I wasn't home, and I think it's super bittersweet because I didn't see her go, but she left when I wasn't there, and I felt I wish that I was.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked that day, and I haven't really revisited this story before, but so I picked up my guitar, and I was like, I just feel like writing her a song. It's called Thank You, Nana. I ended up investing in a little audio interface, Cubase, to record this song because I knew there was no way I was going to perform this in front of people. So then that actually started my love for creating music again. So, like I said, it was bittersweet because of her passing. It started this snowball of
effect,
songs being written, and I wrote so much in a small amount of time. And then since then, I've been just sharing my music, and Also, with auditioning for shows, I didn't have that ability to, I had to wait for someone to cast me onto a show, whereas I figured, oh, maybe if I rent a venue and invite my friends to perform along with me, I can figure out the time, the place, and I can do that as many times as I want.
Yeah.
So that started my company called Let's Make Good Productions.
Okay.
Where we put on showcases, we put on events and workshops, and it started off with a mission to just celebrate female songwriters, and then it grew into celebrating all kinds of art, and not only women. So when we just have women shows, or female shows, it's called Wonder Woman, and then when we have just male artists, it's called Supermen. But then when we bring them all together and we showcase, like, not only music, but there's spoken word, poetry, rap, dance, film, storytelling, performance art, we call it Wonderfest. And in the past, we've done big events where it was just a show, or we would incorporate workshops, which is like business artists, like self, like learning more about yourself, self-confidence kind of thing, like just all positive stuff. And ultimately, our goal is to spread empowerment through art.
And that is awesome.
So and I've seen what you've done now. You've changed a lot of, like, you've reached out and you've helped out different organizations and causes. And for me, what's really important, being super introvert, is that music has helped me find a voice. Like, it's helped me gain confidence. It's helped me love myself more and helped me realize that I can do things, that I can change my life, and I can help other people realize that they can change their lives as well. So
that's beautiful.
This company and my music, my music has been super helpful in terms of, like, my more so confidence, and just realizing that our greatest masterpiece is our life. So we might as well create each day the way we want. I'm going on a tangent.
That's, you know what? It's all beautiful. Everything you're saying, it's just beautiful. Like, I have a hard time when I do these conversations because I get so caught up in what people are saying that I just let them go because I'm like, I'm so enjoying this story, and no, keep going on. I'm going to say I'm very sorry for your loss, because I didn't get a chance to say that. But no, keep going, because what you're saying is absolutely beautiful, and being able to empower yourself and find yourself and come out of your shell and help other people do that and create, regardless of whether it's music, acting, whatever it may be, I think is gorgeous. So, no, keep going. I won't stop you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So that's been a big thing for my career so far. I've been pushing my music for the past 7 years. And I got to perform throughout Canada. A good friend of, so my partner, Kat Leonard, she runs the company with me, and a good friend of ours that we met in LA helped us put on a Wonder Woman event over there, and it was just absolutely amazing. Like, we also have visual art on stage so that people can, like, the stage is usually really nice, but when you dress it up with art, it's beautiful, and the pictures turn out really nice. So that's part of our events. I also got to perform, I did my own do-it-yourself UK European tour in 2015. And I got to perform in London, Northumberland, and Scotland, and one place in Amsterdam, and then one place in Nice, France. And I just think about it, and, like, I talk to people about what I did. Like, I just really email people saying, like, hey, I'm a Canadian, because they love Canadians.
Yes, because we're awesome.
Canadians over there.
We are awesome.
We are, yeah. And so I just emailed a whole bunch of people. I think I must have sent out like 100, 150 emails to different venues. And then I just figured it out. So I started off, like if anyone is thinking of doing a tour, I just started off booking my flights and then figuring out the rest. Like I thought, okay, maybe I could spend this time in England. I'll email these venues and say, I'm Canadian. This is what I do. I'm here between this and this time. And I managed to get 11 shows.
Nice.
Well, 11 or 13. But two of them I got when I was there, and the rest I got while I was at home. And it was just so cool. Everybody was so amazing. And Scotland is by far my favorite place.
I'm going there one day.
Other than Canada.
Yeah, I'm Scottish. Both grandparents are Scottish. I'm totally going there one day. So I'm glad you got to go.
You're going to love it.
Yeah, my grandpa used to bring back pictures. It's so green. Like, it's just so, I couldn't believe how green it was.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. And apparently a lot of Scottish people come to Canada and vice versa. Like, I think there's like some sort of similarity over there. But it was amazing. Like, I remember playing my first gig in Scotland. It was at a bar. It was a small bar. And the Proclaimers played there.
Oh, wow.
And so I get there, Allie, and I'm setting my guitar up. Everyone's having a drink. And, I hear about, like, Scottish people, they love to drink. So I'm thinking, like, no one's going to listen to me for these 2 hours. That's what I'm thinking. So I've got this mindset of, like, I'm just going to be in the background. I'm going to play these songs. I'm a piano player, but I had to travel with a guitar, so I had to figure out the chords for guitar where I didn't have to play super crazy ones. Like, I could put my capo on the guitar. Anyway, so I go to strum my guitar to check the sound, and Allie, the room stops talking.
Wow.
It was amazing, and I'm like, oh my God, they're gonna listen. I gotta have a different mindset right now. Like, it's so cool over there. Like, I mean, we have a bit of that here where, you go to shows and it's a nice listening room, but more so it's like music is in the background, and especially in bars and stuff. But over there, like, I was just shocked and flattered. And I said it to them, like, I didn't know you guys were going to stop talking. Like, I couldn't believe it.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
Wow.
And so from that, like, the past couple of years, I've just been gigging as much as I can. I hosted a TV show. We just stopped doing it because of the funding for the studio. Unfortunately, I think that was the issue. Anyway, I got to host a TV show for over a year and a half, and I got to meet a lot of artists and talented people along the way, and it was just so fun. Like, I'm sure you had a lot of fun talking to and learning about people. That's how I felt too. Like,
yeah,
I get to appreciate them and help, like, talk about what they do, and then hope people follow them and be fans of them. So, and right now I'm working towards an album for the end of the summer. I'm planning a cross-Canada tour. As I was mentioning to you before, I'm going to Vancouver at the beginning of August, and I'm hoping to stop off in Edmonton and Winnipeg.
Yes, I'm hoping. Yeah, I want to see you when you come to Winnipeg.
Yeah.
So keep me updated. Now,
for sure, definitely.
Okay, I just want to talk about this because you have done so much, Arlene. It's just crazy. Now, you had a recent successful debut album, Everything Begins with Love. And CBC Radio really loved it. And the one thing I love about CBC Radio, out of all the radio stations in the world, is they recognize Canadian talent and they'll put them on. And I absolutely love that about them. Now, you were named the runner-up for Now Toronto Magazine's Best Songwriter for 2015. And you were also in the top 10 regional finals for CBC's Searchlight contest in the same year. So you're definitely following your calling. you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. You're
Thank you. I
doing
hope
well.
so. I just try to like make noise everywhere I go. I tell people.
Well, that's good. You've also you've opened for Canadian songstress Jill Barber as part of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee celebration, and you performed at the Beaches International Jazz Street Fest. And one of the things I love, okay, so you're a graduate of Randolph Academy for the Performing Arts in Toronto. You also studied piano through the Royal Conservatory of Music, which is huge.
Yeah.
And you play cover songs from the 1930s to present. And how, the 1930s, I just can't wrap my head around it. I didn't even know they had
It's
songs.
like standard stuff.
Yeah.
Like standards, yeah. That kind of stuff.
Well, that's good because, I mean, people nowadays,
Oh,
young people nowadays probably never heard of them. Go ahead.
Things like, I'm trying to think of what, it's just like the jazz standards. I'm trying to think, I'm like drawing a blank. But that's what I meant by like 1930s.
Okay. Okay, so just the old jazz standards, which is fine.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, so your debut EP album, I Am Worth It, was released under the production team. It's Kaya Productions, Rob Rapidi?
Priya Productions.
Oh, Priya, okay. From BLR Entertainment. And he described your voice as haunting and yet passionate. And this is the part I love. Who knew such a beautiful, natural singing voice could come from such a shy little girl who used to whisper in conversations growing up? Did you really?
Yeah, and I kind of still do. I'm very soft-spoken.
Wow. Well, I'm glad that you broke out. I'm glad that you empowered yourself because we wouldn't be able to hear you if you didn't. Now, I think playing Rizzo in Greece would have been a blast, just because it's one of my favorite musicals. So,
it's so fun.
It was, I guess, I can't even imagine. Now, with your song, I'm Worth It, your goal is to remind individuals to trust and believe that they can achieve anything they put their mind to. I think that is beautiful. And that is part of what your Let's Make Good Productions does with your Wonderfest and your is it Supermen?
Yeah, Supermen and Wonder Woman.
Okay, and this is awesome. For doing all of this, you were awarded the 2014's Hazel McCallion Volunteer of the Year Marty Award, and that was an acknowledgement of your work in encouraging others to be creative in their daily lives. So I think not just how talented you are, which you are in so many different aspects, but by helping other people just blows me away, and it touches my heart, and I think it's absolutely wonderful.
Aww.
So
thank you.
You're welcome.
You,
and thank you for doing that, because it's beautiful, and that's what I do. You're right, in a way, that's what I do.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
When you were doing your TV show, like you said, talking to people, one of the best parts about this is hearing people's stories, because they're all beautiful stories. And you get to discover new people, new art, whether it be music, writing, painting, anything. It's a great gig. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's so much fun.
Yeah. So, and kind of what it's like, because you had your TV show. It'd be nice if you still had your TV show. That would be awesome. Now, now I'm drawing a blank. It's just one of those days. If you had any advice, because you do all these workshops and stuff, I'm sure you have a lot of advice to give new artists that are starting out, what would it be?
This question always changes, the answer always changes for me. At this point, I think something that new artists could try to do is network, and that's something that's really important. I'm finding I'm still I think to this until you're done, until you got to network, because the music world is very small, but there's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Network and be nice, be kind and nice to everybody, because like I said, the industry is very small, and unfortunately, words can get around. But I think if I had started networking earlier, the thing is, though, like being an introvert, it's hard.
Yeah, I guess it would be.
It's hard to network.
Yeah.
But because of my love for music and because of my love for, like, wanting to be heard, that actually helps me become brave to network. Because, like, I'll be from at a party where it's, like, not an event I'm putting on, and it's, like, I know one person. I'm so, like, I'm just an observer. Like, I will not talk unless, you know, I don't know. It's just the weirdest thing. But
I want to
like,
be your
because
voice.
there's sorry?
I said, I want to be your voice now. Okay. Yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so it's just like, it's sad. It's like, I think it's important to network. And also, a good place to network is at open mics.
Mm-hmm.
If you go to multiple open mics, like you can learn from other people. You can maybe meet your next guitarist or drummer or I don't know, someone that you end up having a what's it called, a career with.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's something that I would advise. And also another thing is to trust their intuition. Like, if people tell them, like, why are you doing that? Just remember whose life it is.
Exactly.
That's the big thing.
That is great advice.
There's I'm sure that you probably come across controversy, like everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so funny because, like, how do those people feel like they have the right to tell me what to do with my life?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's just like remembering what you're doing the art for. If you're doing it because you love it, if you're doing it to get a big break, but like ultimately just remember you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
That's something I have to keep reminding myself. So
that is great advice.
So everybody.
Yeah, especially Twitter. Twitter, you know, it cracks me up when I see somebody say something derogatory about somebody on Twitter. It's like, okay, why would you take time out of your day to be negative to somebody you don't even know? It just blows me away. And if you don't like their music and you don't like them, why are you following them? Like, leave them alone.
Exactly.
So yeah, I know how I've come across that, not often, which is nice. And you're such a sweetheart. I want to just be your bodyguard and your voice. Yeah, no, you're absolutely a sweetheart. And I hope that doesn't happen often.
You.
Oh, thank you. And you're so talented. Like, you're right. And to any artists out there that, you know, are shy and introverted, because there, you know, it amazes me that there are so many that are.
Yes,
but yet, because they're so passionate about what they do, they come out of their box, which I think is amazing. So your advice about networking and getting out there, even if you're shy, is like gold. Like, that is just the best advice ever. So we're going to hear 2 songs from you so everybody can hear I've been raving and raving and raving about how awesome you are. So they're actually going to be able to hear your songs because they're going to be on my website. What 2 songs are we going to hear from you?
So I'm going to share a song called Right Behind You.
Okay.
And a funny story about this. Can I share?
Oh, by all means. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I wrote this song basically with the idea of being in that situation where, you know, you're with somebody, but then you meet somebody else and you're trying to figure out, like, do I let this someone else walk away when I have this connection with them and go with the person I'm with, or do I go with someone else? Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, like you don't know whether you should follow your gut or if you should just keep going the way you are.
Exactly, yeah. So Right Behind You is almost like I'm watching this person walk away. Like, do I go with you or do I let you leave? And so my amazing producer, Peter Linsman of Music Mentor Productions, we were doing this radio tracking for this song, and he's like, you know, it would really sell if it was about a stalker. I'm like, what? And it made me laugh. And I tell this story when I perform it sometimes, depending on the audience, if they're like an intimate crowd. But then the more I listen to it, it's like it does work because the music is quite quick. But it wasn't meant to be about a stalker or anything, okay? It was just hilarious that it can, like, you can interpret music anyway.
Yeah.
Really, so. That's
Well,
my funny story about that.
Well, and I mean, talking about stalking, like the police, every breath you take. that's like the stalker song
yeah,
ever,
that's true.
right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm
you're
sure
right.
that's not why
Like
he wrote it.
Like many people have it for the wedding.
Yeah, that's not why he wrote it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I get where you're coming from. And what
Yeah.
other song are we gonna hear?
Yeah, this song is called "I'm Worth It," so we did talk about that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
This song is really special to me because it's just a reminder to you know that I'm worth it, that we're all worth it, and we're worth the job you're going after. You're worth the promotion. You're worth that relationship. You're worth what your dreams are. And I think in our society today, it's hard to remember that.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much, like, it's growing now. There's a lot more self-help, more motivational speakers out there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still like we're bombarded with so much negativity that it's one of those songs to take you away from that and remind you, like, what you're doing. If you don't like it, you're worth that more. You're worth chasing after that goal, that dream.
Exactly.
That's what that's about.
Exactly. Yeah. And you're right. There's way too much negativity in the world, so we need songs like that to kind of remind us. Arlene, I've totally enjoyed this conversation, even though we had technical.
I have too.
Yeah, we had technical difficulties at the beginning. I'll let everybody know. Thank God I have backup, and you were so patient. So thank you so much for that.
No problem.
And thank you for sharing your story because I think it's beautiful. I think you're a beautiful person, and if you're coming to Winnipeg, I so want to see you. I want to meet you, and keep in touch. I want to know how you're doing, and how if you win awards or you get signed or what something big happens. I want to know because I'll have you back on my show. I tell everybody that this isn't a one-shot deal. I'm always here.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for coming out of your shell and talking to me.
my absolute pleasure. It's so nice to talk to you, Allie. Thank you so much for having this for artists.
Well, thank you. And thank you for joining me on Allie's Attic. Keep checking my website because you never know what kind of surprises you'll find in my attic. Cheers!